Hi guys, welcome to yet another lovely episode of the Clearview podcast. I'm your presenter, Eustace Chanda Kaputula, aka International Managers. And this lovely episode was brought to you by Laminate Media guys. Today, we move in a different direction. We're always talking about music, but today we're talking about real estate investments. Okay. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the hidden costs involved in construction. These, you need to know them. Like, are you planning to build your dream home? Even a music studio, it's the same. Are you planning to build apartments? Then you need to stick around till the end of this video because I'm going to review the hidden costs involved in construction that we mostly ignore, but they do affect us negatively one way or another. Either they're going to delay your project or shoddy works will be done and you have to redo them again, which is another extra cost. So stick around to this video. Before I drop those gems, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, like this video and share it. Okay, so the first cost you need to put into account before you start building your dream house. Okay, I'm assuming you've already bought your plot, you have your land, you know that your plot is there. Okay, you have to get a building permit from the council. The costs of building permits depend on few things. One, they depend on the size of the house and the area you want to build in. So if you're building in Lusaka, Chingola, the building permit cost is different. It's not the same. It depends on the council and the location of the building. So before you think of building, guys, get that building permit from the council so that you avoid unnecessary inconveniences in the future. At least just get that permit. The other hidden cost is water costs. If you are building in a land for the first time, it's virgin land and there are no neighbors there, maybe the neighbors are few and far between, you need water. Like, water is very important for building, especially if you're building in the dry season, so you need water. So it's either you're going to spare money for Ichishima. Ichishima is a well. You need to drill a well down, like it's a traditional well. The cost of Ichishima ranges from 2,000 to 3,000 depending on who you've engaged to build the well for you. So you need to spare that money, put it aside, because water is very important. Or if you're not going to drill a well around, maybe the neighbors have got a borehole, maybe you can be going there to fetch water, but you can't do that for free. Maybe they'll charge you maybe per drum, it's 50 kwacha, 100 kwacha, 20 kwacha, it depends with the area in and the availability of boreholes and places to draw water. If there are more boreholes and there are more points to draw water, the cheaper and the better for you. But if there are few places where you can fetch water, then it will be slightly expensive for you. So you have to save on water costs. Okay, the other cost is transportation costs. Building involves buying material. So buying material, you move from one shop to another. Maybe this shop has this material and that shop has that material. So maybe the distances you move. So you need to save money on transport. Transport is a huge important factor. You find, for example, maybe your plot is very far from town. You can spend as much as 2,000 on transport, even more than that. It depends on the movements you're going to make. So transportation costs are very important. The other cost, expertise cost. Okay, maybe for building, when you start building the foundation and whatnot, building up to roof level, yeah, you can use any bricklayer you want, it's okay. But when you reach areas like roofing, guys, roofing constitutes about 70% of the cost of the house. You need to engage professionals. I learned this the hard way. If you engage anyone because they are cheaper, they've given you a lower quotation, they'll put the roof, but what happens when rain season comes? The roof starts leaking. So now again, you need to remove that roof. You need to buy more material. So meaning you would spend more. So meaning by hiring an expert later on, meaning you spend the first time and then you're going to spend again and correcting it. So you spend even more money. So when you are building, don't look at the cheapest quotation. Look at the expertise. And again, don't look at the most expensive. Being expensive does not necessarily mean they know how to do the job. There are two types of labor you can hire. You can hire individuals and companies. If you're going to hire a company, quite all right, the risk is lower because the company will bear the risk. They'll ensure they find the water, the transportation, they'll provide everything, they'll build everything for you. But remember, every company enters business to make a profit. So they'll charge you high. and they'll also include their profit. So just because you've hired the company does not mean they're the best builders. There are also other individual builders who are actually good. So you have to hire expertise. So if you want to hire a company, well and good. There is less risk. If they don't do the roof properly, they can come and redo it because there's a contract binding you and the company. But even the individual builders are actually very good individual builders. So before you hire someone, ask for references, ask for clients they've saved before, like look at their previous works and make sure it's their works. Like, or maybe when they're doing other works, go and do site visits. Even if it's not your plot, go there. See them physically actually working and physically doing the job so that you know these are the ones they know how to do it, and then strike a deal. So you can get individuals who are very good at what they do and you're convinced they are very good, you can work with them. Or hire companies, but the price will be a bit higher. Okay. The other cost, believe you me, is food. Yeah, people are going to ask, who is responsible for giving food to the people on the site or the people at the site? Is it you, the customer, or when you pay them labor, they get the money for food from the labor? Who? People would say, no, because you've paid them the labor, so they'll pay themselves, they'll buy themselves food, they'll sort themselves out. Guys, from experience, it's better you give the people at the site food. Because if you don't give them food, they'll be delaying your project because there's no food. So, for the smooth selling of your project, your music studio, your apartments, just buy them food. You can easily buy them a sack of mini meal, maybe a 10 kg, you can buy them cooking oil, and then maybe you can just buy them 1 or 2 chickens, and then you give them maybe a 200 kwacha, they'll buy vegetables, they'll sort themselves out. That way, they are going to work for you and they'll do a very good job because they need the energy to work. But if you don't give them food, the project delays. And labor costs. Don't be too quick again to pay the entire labor, no. At least pay 50%, the other 50% after the job has been done. The reason why we pay the first 50% is to actually motivate them. If you don't actually pay them, they won't be motivated to do your job. So if you give them that 50%, these guys are married, they've got families, so that 50% will go to their families. Maybe they'll leave it to their spouses to look after their home, and then as they work at your site, because construction might involve people camping even for a month. Yeah. So after they leave money for food at their homes, meaning their wives won't be calling them to say, oh, 24 MPIF, and they won't also call you to say, oh, give us our money. You would have sorted them out. So don't be naive to give them the entire labor, no, because again, they can go out. Just give them a portion. In fact, give the team leader a portion. He knows how to allocate his people. Yeah. The other important cost is price escalations, guys. Prices change every single day. The dollar kwacha rate changes every second. It appreciates, depreciates. But the truth of the matter is, maybe you get a quotation to build in January and then you only start in June. The prices in January and June are different. So you have to leave an allocation for price escalations, even 5%, but the best advice is 7.5%. To be on the safe side, 10% price escalations. So that in case prices increase, in case cement was at 170, you find it at 180. If you're buying a lot of bags, it looks like, the difference looks like, okay, it's a 10 kwacha, but if you're buying 100 bags, multiply 10 by 10, it's 1,000, and you didn't allocate for it. So that 1,000 might fall in the 10% escalation. So the escalation looks like this. After you've done the budget, all the materials, transport, then you apply 10%, meaning you're going to multiply 10% to each and every individual item on the budget of the project. So at least you'll be safe. Yeah. So those are the most important hidden costs in construction. As I said, I'll just run through them. The first one, building permits from the council. 2, water costs. 3, transportation, expertise costs, very important, hire professionals, food, and price escalations. So, if you've done your research properly, you've hired the right individuals, you've got your quotation, you've made your budget, you've put a contingency, you've allocated money for the water and transport, because mostly when you hire these building companies, especially individuals, they won't give you costs of the permit because it's not their business. Permits are given by the council. Their business is only to build. So permits, depending with your location. So before you start, go to the council. Food, provide food, especially if you're working with individuals, at least provide food. price escalations, provide the 10%. Yeah. If you've made it till the end of the video, meaning you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this information. Don't be left out. Let everyone who's willing to build now get a hold of this information, so that they don't get excited and just get the quotation and go and buy the material, and they don't even put into account price escalations, permits, and water costs. They just start building. That way you find this building to be expensive. But if it's well planned and well articulated, you find it's not that bad. Till the next one, guys, drop a like on this video. Thanks. God bless.